Good morning, everybody. We're live here from the birdhouse. It's Tuesday, October 29th. And here at the store, we are pulling all of our Halloween stuff and we're putting that on sale for 50% off. So if you are local and in the area, you can definitely take advantage of that sale. We've got that going on. And as always, we love to know who's on. You can say hi in the comments. If you have any questions, you can throw those in there. And if you have any kind of bird sightings, we love to know what kind of things you're seeing. It's definitely getting cooler out there. It's cool here. And I thought, why not talk about the best products to attract the most diversity of birds to your backyard for the months where it starts to get a little bit chillier out. It's not super hard. There's lots of different options out there for you. But it's those same kind of things that you need to provide for birds all year round: food, water, shelter. Those are the main things. So those don't change much as the year goes on, but how you provide those can change a little bit. So I thought I'd show you some of the different options to provide the best diversity, or to get the best diversity of birds in your backyard this time of the year. So if you have comments or questions, absolutely throw those in the comments or just say hi. As far as the way to get the most diversity of birds to your backyard, food is going to always be the number one way. So providing some kind of seed or suet, we'll go through all of those, is going to be the best way to get the most birds. Right now, we don't have those migrants like orioles, hummingbirds, so you don't have to worry about the jelly and the nectar so much. Some people will still feed mealworms for bluebirds this time of the year. But in general, the most out of anything you want to provide food-wise is going to be seed. And we have some different seed blends here that are our top sellers, with this one being the number one. This is our chickadee blend. And if you're familiar with our store, you've probably tried the chickadee blend before. This is our best-selling blend. And for good reason. There's really something in here for any kind of bird that's going to come to a backyard seed feeder. So there's lots of sunflower seed in there. There's peanuts. There's safflower seed. So if you're looking for a little bit something extra for your birds, the chickadee is a great way to go, especially because of the peanuts. If you don't have any kind of seed at the moment that has peanuts in it, you might want to reconsider that, because the birds absolutely love the peanuts. It's a great source of protein and fat, especially for this time of the year. So you can always get a blend that has peanuts in it, or you can mix peanuts in to some seed that you might already have, or you can do a whole separate peanut feeder, which is always fun too, and that'll get you blue jays and nuthatches, chickadees, titmice. They all love the peanuts. So for good reason, our chickadee blend is our best seller, but we have some other really good blends as well. If you're looking for something without shells in it, our woodpecker blend is fantastic. This is what I put in my feeders. There's no shells, so there's no mess, which I really like. And there's a ton of peanuts in there. There's a ton of sunflower hearts. And that's what the birds really love. So this goes so fast in all of my feeders. And just like the chickadee blend, because there are those peanuts in there and the sunflower hearts, just about any kind of bird that comes to a backyard feeder will feed from this blend. So this is a really good one. It is more expensive because it doesn't have any shells on it, and it's really just the major things that the birds absolutely love in the seed blend. But it's really good. No waste, and will give you a huge diversity of birds in your backyard. As far as our bestsellers go, though, our chickadee blend is number one. And then our next bestseller is our deluxe blend. And this is a really good blend. It's not very expensive at all. And this has a mix of the black oil sunflower, the safflower, and the millet, which this time of the year, some people will want to add millet to their bird seed blends or their feeding stations for things like the juncos. So those little gray birds with the white bellies that will hop along on the ground, they love the millet. Those migrating sparrows that are coming through, they'll eat millet off the ground. So having a blend with millet in it isn't so bad, especially this time of the year as you get those migrants coming through. And then Cardinal Elite is our other best seller. This has all the Cardinal's favorite foods in it. It's got sunflower seeds, striped sunflower, safflower, and sunflower hearts. What's great about the Cardinal blend is that it doesn't have the millet in it, so the birds don't throw that on the ground. So there's no waste to it. But everything that's in our cardinal blend is also in our chickadee blend. So if you are looking for the top #1 way to provide for all your birds, the chickadee blend is still going to be it. If you want something with no shells, then I will go with the woodpecker blend. And then there's always just straight up sunflower hearts. If you don't want any mess, if you don't want to have to deal with birds picking this over that out of your bird feeder, you can just do sunflower hearts. And sunflower hearts are the insides of the sunflower, and just about all birds who come to feeders will eat it. Cardinals will eat it. Chickadees, red-breasted nuthatches, like this picture here, they seem to really like that. And they're more of a seasonal bird that's around now and through the winter, a little bit more commonly than we see in the spring and summertime. So you can always do sunflower hearts too as a good way to provide for a big diversity of birds in your backyard. Some people do sunflower hearts and mix in peanuts with that. And that's really fabulous also, because again, no shells, and you can still get a really good mix of birds that way. And then don't forget, there's always hot seeds. If you have a feeder set up that you can't squirrel proof, or you don't have a squirrel proof feeder and squirrels are driving you crazy, we do have the bird seed that is mixed with the hot sauce. So we have just the hot sauce that you can mix in your bird seed on your own, or you can buy the seed already mixed. You don't have to worry about the sauce getting on your hands or anything like that. So this is really, really popular, and we now have it in 20-pound bags as well. We have a blend called the spicy blend, which is 20 pounds of the seed with the hot sauce mixed in. So that's a fairly new product for us, but it has been very, very popular because that's the largest bag that we carry. So it's been hard for us to get large bags of the hot seed, but we are starting to get it in. So we have that for you as well. And keep in mind too, if you go through a lot of seed, everything 20 pounds and over here is always buy 4, get 1 free. So you can always prepay for it. You save 20%, and you don't need to take it all with you at once either. You can store it here. So we'll keep track of what we owe you, and that's a way to save on your seed on top of buying the 20-pound bags is always the best way. But if you do the buy 4, get 1 on 20-pound bags, that is the ultimate biggest discount on bird seed, and you can save a lot of money doing it that way. Then there's the feeders to put the seed in, and there are so many different types. In the fall and especially in the winter, a lot of people like these hopper feeders because they hold a lot of seed and you don't need to refill them as often as you would, say, a small tube feeder. Hopper feeders also have a lot of perching room on them, so you can get things like cardinals on them pretty easily, blue jays, as well as the smaller birds. So we have a whole bunch of hopper feeders at different styles for you to choose from, and they do hold a lot, so you don't have to fill them up all that often. Now, if you want to attract finches, finches are here all year round. We have goldfinches, there's house finches, purple finches, and sometimes, although it doesn't look like it's going to be a big eruption year this year, there are other finches that come down further south than normal and will be down here for the winter time. Like the common redpoll is a really good example of that, a finch that has an eruptive type of life cycle where sometimes they will migrate further some years than others, and on those years where they do migrate further south, we are south for them. Doesn't look like it's going to be an eruptive year for them, but they will come to finch feeders when they are around. So you can sometimes get a bigger diversity of finches in the winter than you can in the spring and summer. And in order to attract the most amount of finches, we always recommend our finch favorite blend. You might just feed Niger right now, which is great. The finches love Niger. The finch favorite blend, though, is a mix of Niger and ground up sunflower hearts. So that has become a very, very, very popular blend. Most people who have switched from the Niger to the finch blend haven't gone back. So it just gives them a little bit of an extra food on top of the Niger. So not only will you get finches coming to this, some people get chickadees. I've gotten red-breasted nuthatches eating this, downy woodpeckers. So they love this finch favorite blend. And I just got this new feeder as well, this little spiral feeder here, which I absolutely love. The goldfinches love it. It doesn't have the little stick perches on it like most tube feeders do. Instead, it's a little spiral, and the finches will go down the spiral as they feed from the feeder. So super, super fun. We have this in a sunflower seed feeder as well. And then there's suet, especially as it gets cooler. Although some people feed suet year round, the birds will start going to the suet more often now that it's getting colder out. And the suet is fat and protein, and woodpeckers absolutely love this. So if you're trying to get more woodpeckers or nuthatches, absolutely you want to try some suet. We have all kinds of different flavors of suet. Things with peanut butter and nuts in them tend to be the things that the birds like the best. So things like this nutty butter blend here. There's a fly in the office. It just scared me. There's this nutty butter blend here is our best seller. But if you have squirrels, just like how we have that hot pepper seed blend, we also have hot pepper suet. So you can put hot pepper suet in your suet feeders, and then the squirrels don't eat them. And as far as suet feeders go, in the past year or so, we've gotten a whole bunch of different types. And now we've got some that are really fun in different colors. So if you want to give your feeding station a little pop of color, we've got lots of colorful suet feeders for you. And I like this teal one here on the left the best. That's my newest suet feeder that I got. And I love that. The birds don't really care about the color, but it's always fun to give your backyard feeding station a little bit of diversity. But we have these suet feeders that have what are called paddle tails on them. And those are these little projections at the bottom. And these are by far our best sellers. And the idea with these is that the birds will cling onto the actual suet feeder, the little grate there, and then they use that prop to give them support for their tail. So they'll use that to prop themselves up. They don't flop around on the feeder to get their footing. So the paddle tail suet feeders are always wonderful, and that's what we suggest, especially if you want to get the larger woodpeckers like the red-bellied woodpeckers and the pileated woodpeckers. The paddle tail feeders are the way to go. The photo here, there's a little downy woodpecker, but you can see even the downy woodpecker is using that paddle tail, that tail prop right there to prop himself up. And then there's seed logs. This is one section of our store that has grown quite a bit in the past few years. People have been loving these seed logs. And the idea with these are that they're just kind of a compressed log of seed. And in order to feed from them, the birds have to kind of cling onto them and peck away for a while, so they don't go as fast as your loose seed that you would just pour into a bird feeder. So this is especially great in the wintertime if you don't want to be refilling your feeders over and over again. Seed logs are the way to go. They last a lot longer than your traditional seed. For example, in my backyard, I have to refill my bird feeders every day or every other day. When I put out a seed log feeder, depending on the flavor, they'll last for like a week or a week and a half. If it's a safflower log, sometimes they'll last for a couple weeks. So those are really, really great. And we do have them in the hot pepper flavors as well to keep the squirrels off. So something else to consider. And those were some of the food options that we suggest to keep your birds happy in these cooler months. But then there's also the shelter aspect. So right now, birds aren't in breeding season, they're not nesting, but they still will use things like roosting pockets or even your birdhouses in your backyard to stay out of the elements, to stay out of the cold and rain and snow and wind. But we sell lots of these, what are called roosting pockets this time of the year. They're just little woven huts. They're usually too small for the birds to nest in, but the birds will pop in and out of there to stay out of the elements, stay out of the cold, all that good stuff. And you can tuck these in your trees, your shrubs, anything like that. We also have what are called roosting houses. And these look like traditional bird houses, look very similarly to them, but they have perches inside. And the idea with these are that the birds will go inside, they'll sit on the perches. You can get multiple species in there at a time. And again, it's just another structure for them to go into and to stay out of the elements. So it's another thing you can do. And then finally, there's the water aspect. And this is my favorite heated bird bath that we carry. I think this is the best one, honestly, that we have. Best price for everything you get. This is a heated bird bath that has all the elements enclosed, and all of the heated bird baths that we have, everything is all enclosed. So you just plug the bird bath in. They operate on a thermostat, so you don't need to worry about the water getting too hot or for the bird bath to ice over. Once the water gets too cold, that thermostat will click on, the heating coil will heat up, and it will make the water unfrozen. So these are never hot to the touch as far as the water goes. They just heat the water enough to make sure that it doesn't freeze over. So I like this one here. This is from a brand called Allied Precision. This is their 14-inch heated bird bath. It comes with a pole and it comes with all the hardware to mount it on a deck. So you can do either. And it has what's called an easy tilt feature. So if you want to pour it out and clean it, there's a little switch on it that you hit the switch and it'll tip over, and you can easily empty it out, clean it out, and refill it. So it's super simple to use. And this is it's a really good size. It's not really big. You can put it anywhere. So I really like this one. That being said, we have different types of heated bird baths, and we even have just the little heaters that you can put inside your bird bath, and those operate on a thermostat as well. So if you've got a bird bath that you can leave out all winter that might be metal or plastic, you can just put the heater inside of it, and that will keep the water unfrozen as well. So that is what I have prepared for you guys today. As far as keeping the birds happy as it gets cooler, it's not rocket science necessarily, although there's a lot of different options out there for you to choose from. But just keep in mind, food, water, and shelter is what they need, with food giving you the biggest diversity out of any one type of thing that you can provide for them. Let's see, it looks like Heidi is on with a question or comment. She says, "Hi, I live in Indiana. I saw my first junco and a white-breasted nuthatch of the season come to my feeders yesterday." All right, so Heidi there has the juncos coming back for the season, and also had a white-breasted nuthatch. So the nuthatches love peanuts. They love the sunflower hearts. They'll eat the suet also. So that's really some fun birds there for the early fall. Looks like that's everybody with questions and comments today. We'll be back on Saturday with another broadcast. And until then, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.